Latihan Baca Inggris Level C2 Nomor 3. Lost in Translation. The words English simply lacks. Every language, it turns out, harbors a handful of words so stubbornly particular to its speaker's way of seeing the world that no amount of clever paraphrasing in another tongue quite does them justice. The Portuguese speak of saudade, a longing for something, or someone, or some version of oneself that may never return. Tinged with the bittersweetness English can only gesture at clumsily with words like nostalgia or yearning. The Japanese, meanwhile, have mono no aware, an acute, almost wistful awareness of the transience of things, epitomized by the fleeting bloom of cherry blossoms. To translate either phrase literally is to lose precisely the thing that made it worth saying in the first place. It would be tempting to conclude from this that speakers of Portuguese are simply more prone to melancholy, or that the Japanese possess some innate sensitivity to impermanence that eludes the rest of us. This is, of course, the sort of tidy but faintly patronizing story that linguistic relativity, the idea that language shapes thought, has always been vulnerable to. A rather less romantic and considerably more plausible explanation is that a word crystallizes wherever a concept proves useful often enough to warrant its own label. English speakers feel saudade too. They simply haven't needed a single word for it quite as urgently. Indonesian offers its own delightful contributions to this lexicon of the untranslatable. Consider mager, the particular flavor of lethargy in which one is not merely tired but constitutionally disinclined to move at all, even when nothing is stopping you. Or gemas, an almost aggressive tenderness provoked by something unbearably cute, a word that captures, with an economy English can only envy, the urge to squeeze a chubby-cheeked toddler just a little too hard. That English speakers must resort to entire sentences to convey what a single Indonesian word does effortlessly is, if nothing else, a humbling reminder of how parochial any one language's vocabulary really is. None of this is to suggest that English is somehow impoverished. Quite the contrary, its promiscuous history of borrowing, schadenfreude from German, déjà vu from French, and countless others besides, has made it something of a magpie's nest, glittering with words plucked wholesale from languages it encountered and found lacking an English equivalent. If anything, English relative poverty in certain emotional registers has simply made it a more voracious borrower, absorbing precisely the words other languages had already perfected. Perhaps, then, the real lesson of untranslatability isn't that some cultures fill things others cannot, but that language is a patchwork of convenient shortcuts, each one stitched together wherever a community found itself reaching again and again for a feeling it hadn't yet bothered to name. The gaps in our own vocabulary are not proof of what we can't feel, only of what we, as English speakers, simply never got around to naming.